What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. In today's video, we're going to be doing a full face of new makeup. I have so many goodies to show you guys today, including the new YSL liquid blushes, the new Tom Ford Metallic Mauve palette. This is supposed to be a new formula. The RMS Legendary Serum Lipsticks in the new nude shades, the Myricks Great Skin Priming Moisturizer, my new brush set with YSL Cosmetics, and so much more. So if you want to hang out with me today, try out some new makeup, and hear my completely honest thoughts, then keep watching. Okay, let's get into it. We got a lot to cover today. Some of these products real good, and some of them, well, you're just gonna have to wait and see. By the way, real quick, you guys always ask me where I get this headband from. This was actually sent to me by RMS, and they do sell it on their website, so I'll link it down below along with all the products that I feature in this video, all the shades. They're all gonna be in the description box down below. And I'm gonna kick off this look with the new Myricks Great Skin Priming Moisturizer. I just received this in PR. This is maybe like the 4th time that I'm using it, so I have used it a couple of times. This is supposed to be, unlike the Great Skin Serum, more of like a traditional moisturizer. Really helps your makeup go on smoothly, kind of keeps your skin hydrated. It's supposed to be applied after the serum, if that's something that you use from Myricks, and then before your sunscreen. I actually already applied my sunscreen, so I'm just gonna put this on top like I would a regular primer, and that's how I've been using it. Comes in really nice packaging, has a pump bottle, and actually real quick, let me just read you guys what it says on the box in terms of the claims and the benefits. It says a lightweight cream that instantly blurs and preps skin for makeup while helping to provide time-release hydration for perfected skin all day. It says here that it has peptides, spermidine, and barrier polysaccharides to help support the appearance of skin elasticity, firmness, and tone, oat extract and glycerin to help soothe and moisturize the skin, hyaluronic acid for deep hydration, biometric emulsifier for a blurred cashmere-like finish, and it also says that it is pH balanced. So like I said, I'm just gonna apply this like I would any other primer. And here's what the texture looks like. It's just like a nice, you know, rich but not too rich type of cream. Looks like a moisturizer. I do have to agree, it does have kind of like a, I was gonna say silky, but on the box they say cashmere. It's a very like soft feeling. It glides across the skin really nicely. And it also says on the box that you wanna try and apply your makeup before this sets down too much. I think the reason for that is because the emolliency of this product really helps the makeup just kind of glide onto the face, especially if you're using a stick foundation like the one from Myricks. I have been testing this out with that product, and it does work really well. Just kind of helps to, you know, spread it across the face, blend it, or even sheer it out if you want to sheer it out a little bit. I like to take just a little bit extra and put it right here where my skin gets very dry, underneath the eyelids, and then around here, because this is where like all of my dry patches are, right here around the mouth. And then I feel like my eyes always get really dry as well. So far guys, I've really liked this. It doesn't have any fragrance, by the way. I don't think they add fragrance to any of their makeup, if I'm not mistaken. So far, I think it's really nice. It's a really nice primer. It definitely has that kind of silky feel. It doesn't make my sunscreen or my skincare peel off of my face, and that's very important. And I have noticed that my skin does stay pretty hydrated throughout the day if I'm going in with a foundation on top. So for the 3 times that I've tested this so far, I like it, and this should be launching very soon, if not already. I will link it down below. And by the way, if you happen to be enjoying this video, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. It really helps me out. And if you are new here, hi, my name is Sophia, and welcome to my channel that is all about having fun with luxury beauty. I upload new videos just like this one every single week. I do a lot of new makeup reviews. We talk about new releases, trends going on in the beauty industry. So if that is your jam, hit that subscribe button to join our fam. We seriously would love to have you. Okay, so before the Myricks primer sets down, I wanna go in with my foundation. I am going to use again the new Dior Foundation Stick, just so I can provide an update to you guys, because I have been wearing this pretty much non-stop since I reviewed it for you all about a week ago. I did take this with me on a trip this past weekend. It came very much in handy. So I thought it would be great to pair this with the Myricks moisturizer, just because, you know, sometimes with stick foundations, they don't glide on as easily, and they can really benefit from a primer. My general update on this foundation stick, friends, is that I love it. I really have been enjoying it. I love how moisturizing it is. I love how blendable it is. I like this shade, which is 1N for my skin tone. Like, it's not too pink, it's not too yellow. It's a very, very nice foundation stick, and especially when I'm traveling, there is something really nice and really quick about a stick format. I'm gonna be blending this out with the YSL T47. This is one of the ones from the collab that I just launched with YSL. If you guys missed it, I launched a 6-piece brush set with YSL Cosmetics. They make amazing makeup brushes and makeup for professional makeup artists, but also, you know, for people like you and me who just like really good quality products. It's my first ever brand collab, okay? So I'm very excited about it. And I am gonna be using some, if not all of the brushes that are in the set today. You can do a full face of makeup with all 6 of the brushes. So I'll link down below to my announcement video if you just wanna get, you know, like a more detailed overview of each brush. I show you guys how to do a full face of makeup with all the YSL Cosmetics. So many good things in there. And just a reminder, guys, it is limited. It's not going to be around forever. And you can get 15% off for a limited time on not only the brush set, but also the YSL makeup that I use in that video with the code SOFIA. It's a pretty good deal for 6 professional makeup brushes. And this one, as I mentioned before, you can use this for powder, like you could use it for a blush or whatever, but I really like how multi-purpose it is in that you can also use it for foundation like I'm doing right now, for concealer, cream blush, cream bronzer, contour, like literally everything. That's one of the reasons why I chose this. And because you can do a full face with just 6 brushes, it also makes a really good travel set as well. Some of you guys were telling me that you purchased it as a travel set. Take a look at that finish. It is very creamy, it's very lightweight, and because it has so many light reflecting particles, it does a good job of just kind of, you know, blurring all of my redness and discoloration. Really, really been enjoying it. For concealer, I finally picked up, guys, the new Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Lift and Flex Concealer. I popped into Sephora earlier this week and I was like, I gotta get that. I got shade 4. I felt like shade 2, which was the other light neutral shade, was a little too pink. So I decided to go with this one, which I think is a pretty good match for me. I also got shade 6, but I think maybe I might return that one. You guys know I love the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Tint. So good. That is one of my favorite skin tints ever. And so when I saw that she came out with the concealer, I knew that I needed to pick it up. So far, I really like it. I feel like it's hydrating. I feel like it has decent coverage, but it's not too thick. It's easy to blend. And once again, I'm using the YSL T47 because this one is angled. Makes it nice to just kind of like get there into the corners of the eye. Very nice, doesn't dry out. It's not as glowy as my Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Concealer. I also don't think it is quite as glowy as the Dior Forever Concealer, one of my other favorites, but I think the good thing about that is, you know, you can use it all over your face a little bit more. You could very easily take that Merit primer, put that on the face first, then go in with a concealer like this one, or just any one that you have in your collection, maybe even one that comes in like a little pot, and you could take a brush like this and just kind of sheer it all over the face or just add it wherever you need to. Because it's not too glowy, it's not gonna look weird if you have to cover up like a little blemish or something like that. So it is a little bit more, I guess you could say, multi-purpose. I think it's a really, really nice concealer, so good job, Danessa Myricks. I know some of the Yummy Skin products are better for oily skin. I feel like this is good. I think it would work for oily skin, but I think if you're like normal to dry like me, this is gonna be a good option to try out if you're in the market for a new concealer. For bronzer, I'm gonna go in with the new Dior Contour and Glow. This is a number 100 Diorissimo. If you missed my review, this is one of their new Color and Glow duos. This is the contour one specifically, and it is the lighter of the 2. I first reviewed the darker one, which I believe is called Diorama. Then I picked up this one, and this is the one that I really have been enjoying using as a subtle bronzer. It's a really nice shade. It's probably one of the most natural, kind of soft, slightly glowy bronzers that I have in my collection. I'll link the review down below because I do a couple of comparisons in that if you just want to see like some swatches side by side. This is definitely going to be in my monthly favorites video at the end of the month because I love it. I also took this with me on my weekend trip. I had to go to a wedding in Denver, so I wore this to the wedding with like my full face of makeup, and I thought it looked really, really nice. And actually right now I'm using the Esum T59 from my brush set. This is really good if you want a nice natural application. That's kind of what it looks like. Before I get to the YSL liquid blushes, I'm just gonna quickly do my brows so that I have like more of a complete canvas for you guys to see the blushes on. And when I was at Sephora, I decided to pick up the new Merit brow pencil. This is the Brow 1990 in light brown. They also reformulated their brow pomade, but I decided just to start with the pencil. And what kind of shocked me about this is that it's gotta be like the thinnest brow pencil I've ever seen. Maybe that's why it's called Brow 1990, because you know, the 90s, we were known for our very thin brows. And I'll kind of show you a quick comparison here up against the Victoria Beckham Baby Blade. Okay, so this is the Victoria Beckham and this is the Merit. Look how tiny it is. So if you're somebody who really likes a very precise brow pencil, because Merit, their whole thing is, you know, kind of like minimalist makeup. This is what I would use if I wanted to do a very minimal brow or like just get it, you know, right where I need it. You could definitely fill in the gaps, fill in any little hairs or whatever. It's really nice. And I got the shade light brown. Let me quickly just swatch that for you. I like it because it's pretty neutral. Sometimes with the light brown shades in particular, they end up being very warm toned, and I don't want my brows being super warm. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I won't go through all of my brow routine with you guys, but I did just want to quickly show you this product because it's a very nice brow pencil if you like that sort of really thin tip. Okay, I lied. I'm sorry. I have one more thing to show you before we get into the liquid blushes, and that is the new Merit lipstick shade in the shade Ginger. I mentioned this to you guys in another video, and so I purchased this when I was at Sephora because I was getting the brow product and I was like, oh, I'll get this as well. I love these lipsticks. However, this shade is not gonna go with the eye look, so I'm just gonna show it to you now. If you are familiar with their blushes, what's it called? The Flush Balm. There's one shade called Beverly Hills, I believe it is. I think that is their best-selling shade, and a lot of people said they wanted a lipstick shade that matched the blush shade. So that's when they came up with this shade Ginger. And keep in mind, my lips, they are a little bit more on the pigmented side, but this is supposed to be just kind of like a nice kind of brownie, slightly warm tone nude. A lot of the nudes in the Merit signature satin lipstick line, they're a little too light for my liking and for my lip color. So this is actually like the perfect satin nude from Merit. Let me just swatch it on my hand here. It's just like a nice kind of warm tone, not quite orange, not quite brown, not quite nude type of color. So I'm gonna use it right now as kind of like a lip balm to nourish my lips, and then at the end of the video we will go in with the new ones from RMS. But I just wanted to show this to you guys because many of you said you were interested in this shade, and I personally really, really like it. So here are the two shades that I got of the new YSL Make Me Blush Liquid Blush. This one right here is called number 69 Lavender Lust, and then this one here is number 44 Nude Lavalier. Let me show you guys the swatches. So Nude Lavalier, I would say it leans very pink. This is more of like a Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk type of color. I'll show you a comparison in just a second. And then the lavender one, well, it's very lavender, and actually this is going to be the one that I use today, but I did a demo yesterday, so I'll show you guys what the nude one looks like with a more, you know, pinky tone type of look. Let me show you real quick. This is what the applicator looks like. It is a doe foot, but it has a really cool sort of angle to it, and it is also, I don't know, like very flexible, very bendable. It's kind of nice because it sort of like hugs the cheek as you know, dot it onto your face. I'm gonna go in, like I said, with the lavender shade because we are gonna do more of like a purpley, mauvey eyeshadow look. So let's go in with this color. And I'm gonna be blending this out once again with the Esum T47. And what I will say is that this specific color, it's more of like a brightening effect. It does add some pigment. You can see right there, kind of just brightened up my cheekbone. I wouldn't say that these are glowy in the sense that they're not shimmery, but they do give like a nice sort of moisturized look to the cheek. And I really would recommend, if you are a deeper skin tone than me, I don't think that you should pick up this lavender one. I know lavender has been kind of a trendy blush shade for this year. Everybody's doing it. You know, it's a little bit different. We had all the pink blushes last year, but I really think that this is gonna look kind of ashy. If you have a more like golden skin tone or a deeper skin tone, I really don't think it's going to be flattering. It is, you know, something that I think looks better if you are very fair or if you have more cool undertones. My undertones are a little bit more like neutral, slightly warm, but I don't know. Comment down below, friends. Let me know, you know, how do you think this looks? I think it looks good. I think it looks nice. I think that they are nice blushes. Do I think that these are wildly different from the Charlotte Tilbury ones that I like so much and the Rare Beauty ones that I like so much? In terms of quality, they're not vastly different. However, I do think that some of you guys are going to prefer these new ones from YSL, and the reason for that is because they're not as intensely pigmented as the Rare Beauty ones and the Charlotte Tilbury ones as well. Those are pretty pigmented. These have good pigmentation, but they're like a little bit more buildable, as you saw me do with the lavender shade right there. I feel like these have a nice finish without being too dry, too glowy. It's a really nice Goldilocks liquid blush. I feel like they did a good job with the formula, and also the wear test that I did with the nude one yesterday went really, really well. They are very, very long lasting. I want to show you a quick little swatch comparison here just to demonstrate what I'm saying. This right here is the number 44 Nude Lavalier, and this one here is Rare Beauty in the shade Worth. You can kind of tell as I like twist my hand in the natural light that the Rare Beauty one is a little bit more dewy. It has more of like that glowy sheen to it, which I really like from the Rare Beauty. The ones from YSL, they're a little bit more sheer and they set down more, so some of you guys might prefer that. The Charlotte Tilbury, I would say it's pretty, like they're pretty similar to the YSL ones, except they're just like a little bit more pigmented. I really like the Charlotte Tilbury ones, but I don't love the packaging. You guys know, like this it's already kind of like gross and messy, and I don't really want to touch it. I'm just kind of showing you guys this, not because there's one that's better than the other, but they're all just a little bit different. And I do apologize, I don't have one of the Giorgio Armani ones to show you because I didn't really like those. I found them to be a little bit too matte and dry. So I did end up returning, if I'm not mistaken, the one that I purchased. Those were just a little bit drier. I would say if you're looking for something that, you know, is a little bit more buildable, still gives a nice moisturized look, not too intense, and also lasts really long, then I do think you're going to like these from YSL. But if you already have a ton of liquid blushes in your collection, I don't think that they're like so much different and better than Rare Beauty that you need to absolutely go, you know, run out and buy them. The last thing that I want to show you guys is just what the nude shade looked like on my cheeks. So I'll show you guys here a look that I created yesterday using this blush. It's really nice. It's not nude, it's more of a pink, but if you like that kind of, you know, pillow talk, light pink sort of look, eyeshadow, maybe a little bit monochromatic, then I think you're really going to like this shade. And now it is time for the eye look with the new Tom Ford palette in Metallic Mauve. This is supposed to be a new formula, so I'll try and do my best to describe it to you guys. This is going to be like a mauve purpley type of color story. Here are the swatches for this palette. So we have two matte shades, a lighter mauve and a deeper mauve, and then we have two shimmer shades, one that is kind of like a shimmering purpley white, and the other one is more of like a true violet. So let's create a look with this. I'm first going to be going in with the Esum S33, and I'm going to use the lightest matte in the palette. I will say that the mattes in this palette, they are extremely powdery. So you can see just how much comes off onto that brush, and you can see the pan does get a little dusty. It's not necessarily a bad thing because it does mean that the formula is quite blendable and it gives you kind of like that nice hazy blend. So I think that that is good, but it's just something that I like to mention because I know a lot of you out there, you enjoy the creme formula, and this is not, it's not similar at all. It's not similar. There's really nothing emollient about any of the shadows in this palette. They are quite dry. And I also want to point out that at least on my skin tone, even the lightest shade in this palette, or at least the lightest matte, it is a little bit on the dark side. Like this is a little dark for me. Now let's talk about the shimmer shades. I don't like them. They are very glittery and they are very dry. I think that if you're going to do a more glittery formula, you gotta add a little bit more emolliency to the formula. I prefer something that's a bit more creamy so that the glitter actually stays on my eye. It's okay to have a glitter topper in a palette, something that's a little bit, you know, more sheer that you kind of just press onto the center of the eye, but I really think that you need to pair it with something that is more of a satin or maybe has like a creamy base so that it sticks. The shimmers that are in this palette, they are very glittery. They're very glittery and they kind of just go all over the place, and I don't really get the pigmentation that I want. I'm going to show you guys real quick with the V27 from my YSL set. I'm going to go into the deeper one first. You definitely want to tap off your brush. Like, it's pretty. It's just so much glitter. I'm afraid it's going to get like all over my cheek. And it's just a little bit too sheer for my liking. A little bit too sheer and a little bit too dry. It's also, like I said, like a pretty dark look. And I was kind of hoping for something a little bit lighter and softer from this particular palette. I know it's called Metallic Mauve, but it really should be called Glittery Mauve because these aren't metallics, they are glitter shades, and I was really hoping for something that just kind of like pop and stuck exactly where I put it. Some people might like this, but it's not really something that I like. I'm gonna go into the lighter shimmer shade. This one I have a lot more trouble getting the pigmentation to show. It's just like, it's not impressive. It just kind of is lacking the oomph that I want. Like if I have a bright, shiny shade like that, I want it to illuminate my entire inner corner and inner half of the eye. And it just kind of looks like textured. I would rather it be more of like a satin, and then I could go in maybe with the fourth shade to add a little bit of like shimmer and glimmer and dazzle. I have right here, friends, the Emerald Dusk palette that they launched earlier this summer. This formula is not that far off from the Metallic Mauve, but I just wanted to quickly show you for comparison, just going into this shade right here. These shadows, they have a much more finely milled metallic finish to them, whereas the ones in the Metallic Mauve palette, let me get a little swatch right here. See how that looks a lot glittery and just like more sheer and not impactful? Does that make sense? I just wanted to show you an example because it's not really all that bad that the formula is more dry and blendable. Some people like sheer shadows and I definitely can appreciate them, you know, depending on the colors and the finishes, but I just don't like the combination of something that is dry, sheer, and glittery. That's what I don't really care for. Okay, enough of me complaining. Let me finish up this look. I'm gonna go in with the YSL T05 from my set, and I'm going into the lighter of the two mattes. The mattes are fine. I just think, like, if you're gonna spend $95 on a palette, I personally would want something a little bit nicer. I was playing around with this yesterday, just like retesting all of the formulas and stuff. And I had another video that I needed to film. And I'll be honest, guys, I took it off. I didn't like the look. I didn't want to be on camera in my other video with the look that I created because I just don't really enjoy the texture. I wanted to look a little bit nicer. So I took it off and I actually went in. I'll show you what I went in with. I went in with these two palettes from YSL, the Harmony palette and the Intensity palette. I just used the kind of like mauvey and pinky tones in the Intensity palette and then some of the soft roses from the Harmony palette. And I liked it so much better. The shimmers in this one are so nice and elegant, and I'm not just saying that because I did the brush collab. The formula is seriously top notch, and I thought it looked so pretty. This is actually what I had on my eyes when I showed you that clip with the Nude Lavalier YSL blush, and I thought it looked so lovely, and my boyfriend came in and was like, ooh, you look so pretty. So if you're looking for an alternative with some nice like mauvey tones, obviously this is like a very different palette. I highly recommend, and this is a part of the 15% off discount, but that's what I used instead, and I just liked the way it looked on my eyes a lot better, to have to be honest. Okay, lastly, I'm gonna go into the deeper matte with the YSL T37, and I'm gonna use this just to add a little bit more definition here on the outer corner. I'm gonna kind of like blend that up. I'm dying to know what you guys think. I'm sorry if you like it. If you like it, please don't get mad at me. If you enjoy it, that's all that matters, but I'm seriously considering returning this palette if TomFord.com will allow me to do that. I'm gonna go in with the YSL Volumizing Mascara. Hopefully this will look a little bit nicer with a nice coat of this. Okay, let's take off the headband. Here is the final eye look. I don't think it looks bad. It's just like not my favorite. I wouldn't pay $95 for it. Sorry to be like a huge Debbie Downer. I'll kind of get in a little bit closer so you can appreciate the sparkle just a little bit more. Again, not bad, just not my favorite type of finish. But we are gonna end this video on a high note because I have the new RMS Legendary Serum Lipsticks. I absolutely love this formula of lipstick, but a lot of us agreed it would have been nice if we had kind of like some lighter, more neutral, more kind of everyday shades to pair with maybe, you know, more vibrant eye looks, etc. A lot of the ones in the original line that launched, when was it? I think it was last year. They were very beautiful, but a little bit more vibrant, and they just launched 5 new shades in a beautiful array of nudes. I am missing the 2 deepest ones, friends. I am gonna be getting them in the mail very, very soon. So once I get those and I have all 5, I'll do kind of like a roundup video or maybe like a YouTube short, Instagram reel, etc. But I do have the 3 lighter nude shades that I'm gonna be swatching for you guys today. So the first one that I have right here is Jane. Get a little swatcheroo on there. That is a perfect kind of neutral nude, a little bit more of like a brownie undertone. And then I have May. This is the one that I was wearing yesterday. It is so beautiful. I gotta twist it up. That one right there is May. That's a little bit more of a pinky undertone, maybe more of like a Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. And then the last one that I have here is called Eve, and this one is a deeper rose. So that one's probably closer to my natural lip color. So these are the 3 lightest ones, really nice array here, and then the 2 deepest ones I will swatch and try on for you guys as soon as I get them. Because I wore the shade May yesterday, I think I'm gonna go in with Jane today, just because this eye look is a little bit deeper, and I feel like the nude hopefully will pair well with that. So let's go in with that shade, and if you haven't seen my review of these before, I'll link it down below if you want to see the other shades. But in terms of the formula, it's not like, they're called the serum lipsticks, but these are not like a sheer serum-y lip oil type of situation. These are pigmented lipsticks, but they have a very rich and creamy feel that just stays hydrated all day or until you reapply. It's a really nice, comfortable formula. I wouldn't call it a satin. I wouldn't call it a matte. It's more of like a hydrating pigmented cream, if that makes sense. You know what? I really like this shade, but I think that with the purple tones on the eyes, I feel like it's washing me out a little bit. I'm actually gonna go, I think I'm gonna go apply May, and we're gonna see how that one looks. Okay, so here is May. I think this one's gonna be a little bit better for this look. This one has more of that pinky tone. Get a nice layer there. So rich and creamy. I love these. Oh, and if you are new here, I do have a coupon code to the RMS website. It's just SOFIASEESQM20 for 20% off site-wide. So I'll list that down below. All right, and here is the final look. Comment down below and let me know what you think. I like the way that the look came out, but like I said, I'm still not a huge fan of the eyeshadow palette. And then with the liquid blushes, like I said, just be mindful of what you already have in your collection. Buy a shade that you don't already have, maybe the lilac, maybe one of the deeper ones. I think that the peachy and more nudie ones in the collection are very beautiful and wearable, but if you already have shades like that from Rare Beauty or Charlotte Tilbury or maybe some other brand, I don't think it's really going to be adding anything more to your collection. Everything else I absolutely loved. I loved all the lipstick. I liked the Merit products. Really nice full face of makeup today, but I would love to hear all of your thoughts, friends. Sound off in the comments section down below. Let me know if you've tried any of these, because I would love to hear your opinion. It's worth just as much as mine. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. It really helps me out. Subscribe if you haven't already. And with that, friends, I hope that you see some beauty in your day, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.